Snow fell gently across the quiet city streets, coating everything in a blanket of white. Beneath the flickering light of a lonely bus stop sat a young woman, her dress torn and thin, her feet bare against the frozen ground. She had once dreamed of a better life, warmth, laughter, belonging, but those dreams had slowly been stripped away, leaving her with nothing but the cold. Her hair was matted with flakes of snow, and her arms were wrapped around her shivering body as though she were clinging to the last bit of strength she had left. People passed by quickly, some glancing at her with pity, most pretending not to notice her at all. To them, she was invisible, a forgotten face in a world too busy to care. But fate often writes its own stories in the most unexpected ways. From the corner of the street came the sound of small boots crunching on the snow. A little girl, no more than 4 years old, bundled in a red coat and a gray woolen hat with a pom-pom on top, stopped and looked at the woman. She held a small paper bag in her mittened hands, clutching it like treasure. Her eyes, wide with innocence and wonder, seemed to shine brighter than the streetlights above. She took a step forward, then another, until she stood directly before the woman. And in the pure, unguarded voice of a child, she whispered words that would change everything: "You need a home, and I need a mommy. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of love, please take a moment to like this video, share it with friends, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to our channel, Kindness Thread. Your support helps us spread more stories that remind the world how beautiful compassion can be." The young woman blinked, stunned, as if the words had cracked open a door inside her heart she thought had been permanently locked. Tears filled her eyes, not only from the cold but from the warmth that suddenly flooded her chest. No one had spoken to her with such gentleness in months, maybe years. She wanted to smile, but her lips trembled too much from the icy wind. She wanted to speak, but her voice caught in her throat. The little girl, unfazed, extended the paper bag toward her. Inside were 2 cookies, slightly crumbled, probably saved from a holiday treat. It wasn't much, but to the woman, it felt like the richest gift she had ever received. Behind the little girl stood a man, her father, watching the scene with quiet intensity. He had seen countless people on these streets before, some begging, some hopeless, but never had he seen his daughter stop and offer her heart so freely to a stranger. He hesitated for a moment, unsure if he should step forward, but something told him to wait. This moment belonged to them. And so he let his daughter lead, as only the purest souls can. For the woman, life had been an unending storm. She had grown up in a broken home, tossed from one foster family to another, always searching for belonging but never truly finding it. She had dreams once, dreams of college, dreams of love, dreams of stability. But one wrong decision had spiraled into another, and soon the world had taken everything from her. A failed relationship, the loss of a job, no family to turn to. She had ended up here, on this frozen bench, feeling more like a ghost than a living person. She had started to believe she was destined to disappear quietly, unnoticed and unloved. Until this child appeared. The man finally approached, kneeling beside his daughter and meeting the young woman's tear-filled gaze. He asked her name, gently, and she whispered it as though she hadn't spoken it aloud in years. He offered her his coat, draping it over her trembling shoulders, and for the first time in months, she felt warmth seep into her body. But more than warmth, she felt something else, a sense of being seen, of being acknowledged. The 3 of them sat together in the falling snow, an unlikely picture of family in the making. In the days that followed, the man returned to the bus stop. At first, he came alone, bringing food, blankets, and simple conversation. Then he brought his daughter again, who insisted on holding the young woman's hand every time they met. Slowly, piece by piece, the woman began to open up. She shared fragments of her story, her failures, her fears, and her longing to be more than the world had allowed her to be. And each time, the man and his daughter listened, never judging, only encouraging. The little girl's innocent declaration, "I need a mommy," became the seed of a new beginning. It gave the woman something to hope for, something to reach toward. She began to believe that maybe she could belong somewhere after all. The man, too, began to feel something stirring in his heart. He had lost his wife years earlier, left to raise his daughter alone. He had built a stable life for her, but there had always been a quiet emptiness in their home. Now, watching this woman laugh for the first time in years as his daughter tugged at her hand, he realized that emptiness was slowly being filled. The journey was not easy. Healing never is. The woman struggled with trust, with the shame of her past, with the fear that she was not good enough to deserve this new chance. There were nights she cried alone, afraid that it would all slip away like everything else had. But the man reminded her again and again, kindness is not earned, it is given. And his daughter reminded her in her own innocent way, love is not complicated, it is simple. Months passed, and winter gave way to spring. The woman, once broken and forgotten, now walked hand in hand with a little girl who proudly introduced her to strangers as my mommy. The man stood beside them, no longer just a stranger offering help at a bus stop, but a partner, a protector, and eventually, someone who asked her to share his life fully. The bus stop that once symbolized loneliness and despair became the memory of a beginning, proof that even in the coldest of winters, warmth can be found in the unlikeliest of places. And so, the story of a homeless young woman and a fatherless little girl became one of love, redemption, and the miraculous power of kindness. It began with a sentence spoken in innocence, but it grew into a family born out of compassion. Sometimes, the most broken people find each other and create something whole. And sometimes, the smallest voices speak the loudest truths. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe to Kindness Thread. Share it with someone who might need a reminder that second chances are always possible. Your support allows us to continue spreading these powerful messages of hope. Special request to our viewers, comment below and tell us, what does kindness mean to you? We'd love to read your stories and reflections.
Se empieza a parar.
Sale, asoma.
Sale pájaro
Se
que
empieza,
sale.
se empieza a ver el chicle del chupetín.
No, yo no.
Che, Tori,
No.
¿cómo te llamas en la vida real, amigo?
Sí, pero lo decía en referencia.
Luca, mira.
¿En serio te llamas Lucas?
Qué tarado que soy.
¿Qué nombre?
¿Y por qué Toris?
Por un videojuego.
¿Vos sabés cómo me llamo yo?
¿Estás
Tori?
hablando con el loco?
¿Cómo te llamas, amigo? ¿Hernán?
Lucas.
Ah,
Che, loco.
Petero, boludo.
Ustedes que son gente macanuda, ¿me hacen un favor?
No te voy a pasar plata, amigo.
F1.
¿Lo pueden seguir a mi amigo en Twitch?
¿Está en vivo ahora?
Nah. Me vas a stream sniping después.
Si ganamos esta partida me suscribo con vos.
¿Quién es tu amigo y por qué lo debemos seguir, loco?
Porque es un
el-
forro, es un forro. Mirá cómo me
¿Estás
getoneó.
en vivo,
Mirá cómo
amigo?
me
¿Estás en
getoneó.
vivo? Hey, ¿estás en vivo?
Sí, está en vivo ahora.
Bien, ahora te seguimos, amigo.
Síganlo, así agradece.
Mirá cómo me getoneó.
Si hacemos rush nada, te
Amigo, te conseguí 2 seguidores.
Si ganamos su... La pija. Pará, igual lo pusiste en todos, mogol. Sos un imbécil. ¿Cómo vas a poner el canal en todos?
Te puse en todos.
Lo pusiste
Ah,
en
sí.
todos, fracasado de mierda. Estamos jugando Premier.
Pero no van a saber qué es si te llamas así en el juego.
Ay, menos mal.
Ah, se puto.
No. Esa mina chilla.
Cállate la boca. ¿Pueden plantar? Ah, soy yo, boludo. Bueno, me dice.
Qué petero que sos.
No, 2 por banana.
Acá, cúbreme.
No, boludo, estás re tranqui acá.